All right. What's Danny doing there? Hi, Danny. Oh, we'll see Danny later. Don't worry about that. It is time for the tweets. So let's see. When the clock and then the Twitter thing start, there's the clock, right? God damn it, I always get that wrong. Right here. And there's the first tweet. All right, here we go. Whenever you want to run it. Bump, bada, bump, bump. There we go. I pick up a check from the artificial sweetener companies every Monday. I don't, but don't think I wouldn't accept one. I would accept one in a heartbeat because I am not a sweetener anti-vaxxer. I actually look at what the science has to say. You're fine, everybody. You're fine. All right, next. Okay, how much potential star power does Jessica Andrade have compared to Rose Namajunas? Congrats on becoming a father. Well, thank you very much for the latter part. Here's what I would say about the first one. In the United States, close to none. Probably, I think, just being realistic, especially with the language barrier. In Brazil, hard to say. I don't know. I'm not there. But I think what I would also say is, remember what we've been looking for out of this new generation of Brazilian fighters. The old ones are going away, like the Vanderleys and the Vitors and the Nogueiras and the Spiders and the you name it, all the Machitas. Some of them are still hanging around a little bit, but that era has definitely over. And Brazil has been looking to replace them with a new generation of stars, some of which are happening, some of which are coming along. But it's good to have on the women's side them carry that torch a little bit in that capacity as well. So how much of a star? I don't know. How important is it that a young Brazilian fighter became a UFC champion? I would actually argue pretty goddamn important. Pretty important. It's a big deal. Next. Let's see. So TSP MMA 115, I think that is Tatiana Suarez, if I'm not mistaken. So the question is, Suarez or Karate Hottie next for the belt? I mean, okay. So here's the deal. It depends on the calendar because Tatiana Suarez has to face off against Nina Ansaroff in next month, right? So let's see how that goes. And if that tells us something, then we go. I say if she beats Nina Ansaroff, then that's your contender because the thing that happened to Rose, I don't think would happen to Tatiana. As strong as Andrade is. I just don't see it as the same. All right, next. Can I interest you to have any of these Deadwood for Real Madrid? Ashley Young, nope. Alexis Sanchez, he fell off. And Matic, no, you may not. Although I cannot tell you how much I'm looking for. I've told this before. But God, they lost yesterday to what? Real Sociedad? Oh, God. This season is just, I can't wait for the season to be over. What a miserable, miserable Real Madrid season. So I don't want any of your dead weight. We've got plenty of our own. Next. And then you got Danny in the back talking trash in my ears. I hope he dies. All right, in retrospect, how significant was Douglas Lima's win over MVP? Well, what do you mean by significant? Do you mean significant in terms of getting him the visibility and credibility that has long eluded him? Probably pretty helpful. Significant in terms of the toughest guy he's ever fought? Not that significant, although I don't want to discredit MVP. He's obviously a worthy adversary. He had earned his way to that spot with his win, however controversial, over Semtex. And by the way, I thought he was giving Lima, not the business, but he was much more open and aggressive in this fight. So I'm going to say significant means giving Lima the respect he deserves and the visibility he deserves. And in that sense, I definitely think it made a big difference. Last point on this: anybody who wins the Strikeforce Grand Prix, or what I'm saying, the Bellator Grand Prix is going to benefit pretty mightily from it. But no one deserves that benefit more than Douglas Lima. And Douglas Lima, if you've ever interviewed him, he's such a nice guy, but he doesn't know how to tell his story, I think, all that well. And this tournament might tell the story of Douglas Lima in a way that he never could. And so he can uniquely benefit in ways that other fighters might not be able to. Next. What do you think of Nate Diaz back to the octagon? Cannot wait. I know Danny and I are probably going to talk about this in the sound off. I love this fight with Anthony Pettis. I love it so much. And by the way, I love the fight with Tony Ferguson so much more with Cowboy than Cowboy versus Conor, but I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit later. Next. Featherweight with the highest ceiling, Volkanovski or Magomed Sharapov? You know, about a year ago, I would have said Magomed Sharapov, but now I might say Volkanovski. I thought the performance he turned in against Aldo was nothing short of magnificent. I really thought it was special. Very, very special. One more, if we have time. I think we do, yeah. Did you end up getting the Snoo for your daughter? If so, what are your first thoughts on it? Do you guys ever know what the Snoo is? The Snoo is this crib that, first of all, it retails at $1,200. So while I did get it, I didn't buy it. You can rent them. So I was like, I'm not dropping $1,200 on this thing. So we decided to rent it. And in renting it, what we have found is that so far it doesn't work. Now, I'm not ready to give up on it yet because it turns out it might be better for infants that are and newborns that are like a month or two versus my daughter is 2 weeks and 2 days, right? As of today. God, it's still weird to say. Anyway, so we put her in the Snoo and she howled. And the Snoo will even tell you if it doesn't work in the first 60 seconds, it's a wrap and it doesn't work. There have been other like automatic rocking things that we've got her that she likes, but the Snoo, nah, bro, that has been an epic disaster. So I'm going to give it 1 or 2 more months. If it doesn't work, I'm just going to return it. And I'd be out like what, $200-$300 at that point, but that's better than 12. Although I guess if I would have gotten a full refund, but I'm not sure how long it lasts. I don't know. All I'm saying is so far the Snoo has been the nubs.